Hey, friends. How's everybody doing? Glad to see a few people here in the comments already. And no worries, anyone who's listening to Tottie's live. I didn't know that she was going to be live at this time today, whenever I planned this yesterday. But I thought it would be interesting to kind of go back to the beginning a little bit on some of these pictures in the FOIA. Hey, Mandy. Um, some of I was looking back through Amber from Into the Weeds Google Drive, and I realized scrolling down in the one of the drives of pictures of the house and the crime scene that I thought I had gotten to the end of that drive, but there's over 1,000 pictures in it, and I thought I was at the end because it just needed time to refresh. So even though I'm sure that, everyone's seen most of these pictures, I know other creators have put them out. I hadn't went through the whole drive, so I thought it would be interesting to do. So this one here, obviously, we've all seen that is the blood on the flower bag there. Zoom in a little bit. The support vampires. And I wonder what this is. This looks like some sort of common tool that I'm just not aware of. Does anyone know what these pink little hair clip type thingies look like? Hey, Rachel. Hey, Sam. Vladdy. Miss Fancy Pants. Glad to see y'all in here. So, yeah, I'm sure it's Vladdy said it's a grabber type to grab things. Hey, Anna. Yeah, I'm sure it's something very normal. I'm not familiar with that object and I was curious. Hey, Force Friend. Kayla, noodle tongs. Okay, that sounds I gotcha. It looks like maybe they dusted for prints because of the blood drops. I assume that's why we've got all this crazy amount of dust because I don't even though the house is really piled up, I don't see a lot of dust in the other pics, other areas. Looks like there were some blood drops on the floor. That's why they've got those marks. Hey, Jamie, Mom Shack. Yeah, there was a lot of dust on the microwave too. Looks like there is on top of this Keurig or air fryer. Let's zoom in. Looks like maybe they dusted over there. Is that the door they were talking about that they tried to go in, but it was blocked by kitchen shelves, I think? Vladdy, that's hilarious. It looks here, I guess we've got I assume those would be fake plants in that little jar there. If they were real, I would assume they would have wilted by the time these pictures were took. Is that a sippy cup up top here? Trying to scroll in a little more. That looks like a sippy cup right up top there with the pink grippies on it. Hey, Jada and Tatum, Rachel, thank you all. Yeah, for the new people coming in, I realize there's a lot more pictures in Into the Weeds Google Drive than I originally realized because I thought I was at the end of the file and I wasn't letting it refresh all the way for everything else it needed to go through to actually get to the end of the file. So there's the sippy cup thingy. Oh, thank you, Cherokee girl. That's sweet. Hey, Jen. Hey, Julia. Rachel. I've only got one screen up, so I'm having to switch back and forth between looking at the picture and then checking y'all's comments. So if you see anything you want me to zoom in on, just let me know. Hey, boss lady and Jelly. We zoom in a bit. Okay, we've definitely got blood drops on the floor here. There were probably more that Jip cleaned up with baby wipes. Looks like they dusted on top of the cabinets too, maybe. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. Not seeing anything else too interesting in this photo. So let's click on to the next one. Let me check your comments again real quick. Said, is there one of those blessing things outside Gypsy's door? I'm not sure. We'll find it. Is there they took pictures of every single little thing. We're still under the sink. I'm not sure what they were really noting here. I don't see anything tagged or numbered. Vladdy says, made of palm leaves. Hmm. Okay. I think we're at the end here because I can't go any further. Let me make sure it doesn't refresh. Oh, nope, we are not at the end. Okay, 113. Hey, Jamie. That's what threw me before. I'd be going through the pictures like this, and my next button would disappear. So I thought I was at the end of the file. But then I realized if I close the preview, it refreshes and brings me all the rest of them. Sorry, y'all. My allergies are kind of bad today. Hey, Shorty Pie. Yeah, that rant on TikTok was pretty bad. It kind of takes away all the times that she's tried to be diplomatic and say decent things about Dee Dee. Looks like Dee Dee kept well stocked up on snacks. Lots of baby food containers, it looks like. Community coffee, I believe that's a New Orleans brand or a Louisiana brand. Nothing too interesting there. What do we got here? Lord of the Rings merch for Jip's spoiled butt. Can't really tell what's going on in that one. I think that's the same cabinet. Yeah, I could see these packs in there. A lot of Cox health glasses. Are these stacked up dirty dishes? I know Dee Dee was having a hard time getting around. Julia says, my mom used to hoard shit like this too. I have no doubts Dee Dee struggled, but in no way as insane as Jip states. Hey, Swifty. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's really interesting to me how when you look at the house, like, yes, everything is super piled up. There's no way you could get a wheelchair through there. There's dirty dishes and blah, blah, blah. However, what I'm not seeing is like mold, cat hair, you know, um, evidence of a long time buildup of dirt. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Are any of y'all seeing anything like that? I am definitely seeing some hoarding tendencies, but it takes a long time to get that cluttered, but I'm not seeing like a lot of, dirt, built up dirt. If y'all are, just point it out to me. Oh yeah, Jamie she loved the Disney stuff. Like you can see here, and they had cats too. I'm surprised we don't see any buildup of cat fur anywhere on the floor. Yeah, boss lady, that is true about the dust in the kitchen, but I'm not positive but what that isn't fingerprint dust because it's all white and it all seems to be kind of a consistent layer. Dishwasher. I guess we might see some mold there. Zoom in. Yeah, there's some mold in that cereal or whatever it is. Gutter Snipe says you can see there was a method to the madness at one stage. It clearly just overwhelmed her as her health declined. Yeah, I agree. There's no way she used her wheelchair on that house. Fingerprint dust is charcoal, baby powder. Oh, okay. Well, my thank you, Cherokee girl. I did not even realize fingerprint dust is charcoal. Hmm. Let's look at the next one. More mold. Yeah, that looks like probably her breakfast from the morning of the murder, because that's the only thing we've seen in here that's molded. Like the dirty dishes are been scraped and stacked. It just really hits to me more like what some of the others was saying, someone who got overwhelmed with their own chaos at one point. Happy heart, I love you day. Huh. Mel says in two bowls. Yep. I can't remember, Swifty. We'll have to keep an eye out for those. I'm assuming so, Mel. Lots of food in the fridge. What are these up top? Peroxide topical gel. I can't tell what the small box says. Boss lady, or sorry, Joy says that there's a litter box in the bathroom by the toilet. So we'll probably see that. Looks like some more medical stuff in there, but all the information is hidden by the way the picture was taken. See if we can see more in this one. I can't tell what those say. The writing is just way too light. Erythromycin. Yeah, I wondered if it was insulin Guttersnipe because it looks like the right kind of shape and size for an insulin box, that one on the left side. Swifty says it looks just like Ryan Anderson's fridge. Yeah, these top shelf boxes are all medicine, but I can't tell what any of them say except for that one there. There's some here too. Hmm. And more of that. Oh, wait, there was something at the bottom. Not at the bottom, but this here. Is that the same thing as this up top? Oops. Oh, yeah, that's the peroxide gel again. The box was different shaped, so I thought we might get new information there, but good point, Miss Fancy Pants. Gypsy could have cleaned this fridge like she cleaned Ryan's fridge, even from her wheelchair. Let's see what else we got. Zoom in here. Huh. Wish we could see what was on the inside of that card. You know, it's probably made by Jip. We got a neighborhood cleanup day. Can't tell what that is. That looks kind of like a Relay for Life symbol, but it says we're praying for you. Lots of Disney World pics. And that's another thing there. It looks like Gypsy is in these Disney World pics. So the whole deal of Nick saying and Gypsy saying in her book that she tried to get rid of all evidence of her in the house so that people would forget about her and think Dee Dee was just a single mom who lived there. Doesn't make any sense. She left tons of pictures of herself out in plain sight. Swifty says those boxes say inject. I can read some of it. Go back one. Okay, sure. Um, do you need me to go to a different one? Janice says she said she wasn't in the can. In on the con. She became top dog. At the top, it says Sanofi. I Googled it and those say insulin. Oh, good. Swifty got her phone to turn it upside down. I tried to do that on StreamYard, but I couldn't get it to work. Right, Gutter Snipe says that house is a bloody shrine to Gypsy. Yeah, she was not going to be able, no one was going to forget that she was there. She left everything everywhere. That is possible. Also, though, sometimes Southwest Missouri gets really humid in the summer, and so things mold fast. And so you can keep those things in the fridge to keep moisture from getting in there. But who knows? We might see more evidence of the state of the house as we go on. Looks like a relatively normal freezer. Y'all see anything in there of note? I'm not. Hey, Christine. Hey, 50 Shades. Hey, be sure. Does it say face on top of the erythromycin? Maybe Swifty will be able to know. She got her phone to turn that one around, I think. Don't see anything odd in here. It looks like a freezer cold pack or something. What are they noting here with the 76? Is it the bottle there? Because I don't see any blood drops or anything. Hmm, I'm not sure at all. Very weird. Swifty says, oops, trying to show. The box in the fridge said inject 40 units. It does say eucalyptus under the tri. It looks like TriStar or something. Let me zoom in a little more. TriStar eucalyptus. Oh, look, there's some red there. See on the bottle? I wonder if they used this for something. Are you in Alaska, Christine? That's 1970, lived there for a long time. He loved Alaska. I'm gonna Google this real quick. TriStar eucalyptus. TriStar water-based scent pack with scent pads to scent the air while you clean. Apply one of these popular fragrances. Okay, it looks like it's just normal eucalyptus oil type stuff. I wonder if she used that to cover up the smell, and that's why there's blood on it. Yeah, TriStar. Oh, cool, Christine. Born and raised in Alaska. Awesome. That's the only reason I can think of why they would have noticed that. Oh, thank you, Mel. I love that. She's in the UK and making alive. Hey, MK. Yeah, I agree, Joy. I think that it was used to cover decomp and it was used after the deed was done, clearly, because that looks like a little bit of blood on there and they noted it for a reason. We've never, I wondered about next cut too, Swifty, but what's making me curious is that we've never heard Nick mention doing anything to try and cover up the smell, just Gypsy. And can't, th- I don't know if I can't think of this being used as a treatment for cuts. Let me look and see. TriStar eucalyptus treatment for cut. Not interested in AI mode. Says for minor cuts, eucalyptus oil may offer some benefits, safety precautions. Yeah, I don't know. That's possible. Oh, yeah, Rachel, I love using it in mop water. And also sometimes in like a simmer pot to just scent the air. Let's see what the next one is. Sorry, y'all. Sometimes I get like invested in reading y'all's comments and forget I need to keep talking. Don't really see anything to note here. Looks like Dee Dee had food in the fridge, but oh, and something else. This is what I was saying about the dust. Like, look how perfectly clean the top of this is. There's no settled cat hair or, you know, nothing. Like, hmm. Oh, crap. Look at the side of that picture there. Is that the side of Gypsy's infamous dollhouse? See y'all over here? I think so. Someone found that in a thrift store a few years ago. Yep, frozen grapes. Frozen grapes are good in like sweet wine. I'm not sure if Dee Dee drink or not. Not that I ever heard of, but is it? Oh, that's funny. It is dusty. Look at that. It's got dust all along the top. Okay. Again, we got frozen grapes and some other frozen fruits and vegetables. Gypsy didn't do that, so Dee Dee was still managing their food, it seems like. And also, Gypsy tells us that Dee Dee would make a can of biscuits every morning, and then she ate the biscuits, and then she would eat peas and rice. But we're seeing a wide variety of food here, and not just snack foods and junk foods, of fruits and vegetables too. Cherokee girl said, "If Jiffer was my kid, I'd stay drunk." Gypsy eating fruit and not chicken nuggets. Another, yeah, I don't see Gypsy eating any fruit for sure. Can we see what the ribbon says on the side of the fridge? Sure, let me see if I can zoom in. Um, I just can't tell. It's just too blurry. It kind of looks like kind of looks like the first word might be first and then fair, but I'm not sure. Cherokee girl says it's a ribbon for the handicapped Olympics. Not sure. Yeah, I think it's just too blurry. Someone said in the Gutter Snipe said in the freezer, it looks like pre-prepared meals made by Dee Dee. That might be. Let's see what's on top of the fridge. We've got Rice Krispies, and they're great value. So Dee Dee wasn't afraid to buy, store brand stuff. The way Gypsy makes it sound sometimes, you'd think Dee Dee was very extravagant with everything, you know what I mean? But it seems like she was only extravagant with making sure Gypsy lived a little princess life. We got more blood drops on the floor. More again. Looks like there's a smear over here. I wonder if Jip tried to clean some up over here with her baby wipes. See, right there. Yeah, I was surprised by the Ovaltine too, Jamie. There's the white dust on the cabinets there too, same as what we've seen of the other. That is just so strange to me because it doesn't seem like household dust, you know what I mean? Normal household dust isn't usually so perfectly white. And with them having cats and stuff, I would expect there to be cat fur and things in it too, dark cat fur. Hmm. Jamie said that was the most cleaning Jip ever did in her life. Yeah, I think so. Gutter Snipe says that first time in prison must have been quite a shock compared to starvation camp. Yeah, food everywhere. All those white tiles without cat hair. Right. That's what's surprising me. I'm surprised by the lack of buildup of dirt. Like we keep saying, there's obviously a major clutter hoarding problem, but I'm not seeing a lot of like dirt. Got a few more blood spots. Ugh. I guess they measured the blood spatter in the grout and took a swab. Oh, we got blood over here on the counter. She probably gave them a good clean to get the blood off. Yeah, of all the things to that she could have researched on the internet, She could have researched how to get away, how to report her mom, how to get out from under the power of attorney or whatever it was that she thought her mom paperwork she thought her mom had on her. Instead of researching any of that, she researched how to disguise decomp smell and kill someone. Hey, Miss Cherokee Rose. Yep, definitely not after she got out, Cherokee girl. I agree. Clearly, poor Dee Dee should have been more strict on her. Ew, that's a big one. I wonder if they never turned on lights after, because it's wild that they could miss that many blood drops when they clearly both said that they were trying to clean it up. You know what I mean, y'all? And see, even look at the stove. We don't see, grease or old food splotches or anything like that really on the stove. But, and again, we've got this white powder settled on the tops of things. That's so weird. A lot of blood on the flour bag. That's why I'm wondering if maybe they left the lights off the entire time they clean. How did they miss this? True joy. Yeah, that's possible too, Mel, because she knew that he cut his finger and that was his DNA leaving everywhere. That's a good point. Hmm. Okay. I once again lost the next button. So let's see if any more load. We're at 1,254. Looks like that is loading more. Okay, 1,255. Same thing. Same thing. There we got the white dust even on top of the spices. Jump back to y'all's comments real quick. Yeah, I wondered too, Cherokee Girl. It seemed like they never checked that. But what I can see from reading the casebook and some old articles is that it seems to me, in my opinion, like Stan Hancock was doing a thorough investigation. But when Dan Patterson and Mike Stanfield got the plea deal through, they were all instructed to just stop. They had to just stop the investigation. There were things I think that were still in progress of being tested, improved, and stuff. And then the plea deal just stopped it all, is the impression I get. But like I always tell y'all, I could be wrong. I am not infallible. I could be totally wrong. Yeah, moonflower baby powder sprinkled on the bed. I wondered about that too, Rachel, when Gypsy started smoking for sure. There's blood on the cabinet. That's weird because isn't this the cabinet up above the fridge? Oh, no, that's above the stove, because that's the stove hood. See, there are the buttons to turn on the vent and the light. How in the hell did they get blood all the way up there? But one of y'all told me in comments last time we were talking about this was that the blood on the knife might have actually, like, dripped and slung around if you just moved the knife. So, I just remembered that. As I get weirded out every time I realize that there was blood all the way up there. I'm like, "What?" But then I remember that there might be a plausible explanation. Way up there. Not sure why they took a picture of this. Looks like we've got a dirty pot here. Few crumbs on this little rug. But still, again, I'm not seeing cat fur and stuff like I would expect from the state of the clutter. I wonder why they found it necessary to mark this. Any of y'all know? That's possible, Misha. Yeah, she said in her book she went up and hugged Dee Dee, and Dee Dee said, "I'm not dead yet, Gypsy." And then she talks about cuddling Dee Dee's pillow and being all weird. It's weird because neither of them said anything about being in the kitchen. I feel like I remember something in her book. I think she mentioned the kitchen, but only in the context of cleaning up. So it's weird that they were in there at all. Yeah, it said that they did say several times they cleaned up in the bathroom. So why were they in the kitchen? Oh, that's a good point, Mel. They might have got DNA from the bottle. I agree, Swifty. Yeah, it's very strange. I wonder why they felt the need to measure this. What is this? I remember them mentioning a cleaner in a red bottle, but that looks like Drano or something. Oh, holier than thou. I think I do remember reading or hearing that. Yep. And some of these, it's just not clear what they're really focused on taking the picture of here. Like, what is 87 and 88? There's a million things around this. Right? Shorty pie? Very odd. I wondered about that too, Rachel. If she started smoking whenever she hung out with Dan, whenever she started running off to be at his place. What the heck are they measuring here? Y'all see anything I'm missing of what the purpose could be here? I'm not Shorty Pie asked if there's blood on those items. I'm not seeing any. Yeah, I agree. My comments. John Lowry, yeah. I don't have any clue. That's so weird. Dan, yep. Kung Fu Panda, I think because Gypsy was stealing her meds for Dan. We know that from some of the police reports that Amber got in that FOIA. Yeah, it looks like they might be measuring the bowl or something. Very strange. I don't see any blood on any of them. Oh Lord, here's the living room. So these have got to be the bags that Gypsy was talking about. Yeah, I don't think the medicine cabinet it wasn't locked in the pictures, but it looks like a lock was being put on. A party wig. Or yeah, I agree, Janice. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit and we'll see if we can find anything interesting in here on close-ups. So, and I've showed this in videos before. Um, there's a picture of Gypsy as a baby. I think Dee Dee is holding her, Dee Dee or Rod. It's hard to tell because it's blurry, but I think from the hair that that's Dee Dee. So there's one picture of Gypsy. It's hard to tell what's in these boxes. Lots of Mardi Gras stuff. It looks like Dee Dee kind of had a thing for hoarding up Mardi Gras supplies. And that honestly, that is not unusual for people from Louisiana. My aunt down in Louisiana did the same. She had boxes and boxes of Mardi Gras beads when she died. Let me catch up. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. It doesn't look like the living room is being used at all. And yeah, Rachel, there's a lot more. And there's a big picture of her as a princess leaned up against the wall, a painting. Well, she did Cherokee Girl, but also she didn't complete it. She just took out what she thought was important, and then from what I understand, Habitat volunteers had to come and actually do the real cleanup. Same. Yeah, Rachel, that's how my aunt was. Yep. And whenever I lived down on the Gulf Coast, it wasn't in Louisiana, it was in Mississippi, but I realized that that's a normal thing. People are prepared for their Mardi Gras parties all the time. And I think that's just an aspect of her culture that Dee Dee was doing that kind of got out of control as she got more disabled over the years. You know, that happens sometimes. Sometimes hoarders don't start out at hoarders as hoarders. Sometimes they're just maximalist types and then their health goes downhill and all of a sudden it's, oh my God, I can't maintain this. Box of baking soda under over there. I wonder if that's oh, you know what? You know what? Didn't Gypsy mention using floor freshener? I think that's that Arm& and Hammer floor freshener powder. I can't zoom in any more than what it already is. I'm at the max. I bet you're right. I bet she sprinkled that crap everywhere. Let me Google real quick. Yep, Arm& and Hammer floor deodorizer powder, and it is mainly for pet odor eliminator. We know what Jip used it for. Let me scroll to another part. Definitely looks like Dee Dee did have a thing for keeping boxes. I wonder what was in the bags that Jip tossed out. What is this here? Is this Jip's diaper bag? Yeah, it is, Rachel, or I'm sorry, holier than thou, but I think she used it everywhere. Yeah, this blue thing here looks like a diaper bag, like a homemade diaper bag. Now this clear bag here, this has some of Dee Dee's clothes in it looks like, because that particular pattern of shirt, I'm pretty sure I've seen a picture of Dee Dee wearing that. So I wonder if Jip was throwing out Dee Dee's clothes and Dee Dee brought them back. Because the black bags, we can't see what exactly is in them. It doesn't like, if it's all boxes in those black bags, they had to have been probably breaking down pretty good. Because we can see Dee Dee had a penchant for keeping boxes, but they're not broken down. So, I don't know, I wonder if it was more of Dee Dee's clothes and stuff. Like, here, this looks like books. Hey, Ivona, no worries. Glad you're here. Yeah, I was wondering that too, Monkey Grader, because she said in the prison emails that, she was having Christy send her mother's dresses that were saved from for her to Ryan's before she got out. Yeah, I agree, Amanda. Because even if Dee Dee was a hoarder, I mean, I think a lot of us have seen from watching the Hoarder show and other things about that particular issue, that tough love and just getting rid of all their crap doesn't usually help or really fix the person's problem. They're usually panicked about the fact that, all the stuff that had they even if it shouldn't be, they had a mental attachment to is now gone. You usually have to start slow with them for that to really be effective. Thank you, 1970. Gifted memberships. For those that don't know, that's my husband. He always comes in and supports because he's awesome like that. Yeah, Rachel Crosley and Rachel Barron, I definitely think she believed she was coming home one way or another. Yep, gutter snipe. I wonder about that too. I feel like everything that Gypsy threw away, from the specific pictures she threw away and left, to the bags that she tried to throw out and left, to the mail that we know that Dee Dee was trying to send out that she stole and threw away in someone else's yard. There had to have been a reason, in my opinion, for all of those things. And I'm not saying Jip's reason would have been consistent, because we know she's so impulsive. She can plan and plan and plan and then just explode her plan. But yeah, something, she was definitely trying to hide something with everything that she tried to throw away, in my opinion. And I just really wonder what it was, you know? If y'all have theories, let me know. Hey, AC. Swifty. One thing I will say is creepy is how much Dee Dee and Ryan resembled. What are these things? Shadow something or other. Does anyone recognize those boxes? Hmm. I don't know what those are. Let me look in the comments real quick. Jamie says, wonder about that circular stain. Oh, yeah, I totally agree, Misha. I think it's definitely planned to return and be less sick, and, a miracle. She was going to be the victim. Oh, looky here, y'all. There's the dollhouse. She must have had 2 dollhouses, because there was one in the kitchen that we were talking about the dust on the roof of, but here's another one. Oh, this bag does look like it has mostly boxes in it. I don't know what that blue thing is in the background. There's the circular stain. Maybe Chip didn't have a diaper on. Who knows? Really wonder what those shadow empty boxes are. There's a little wizard back there. Dee Dee loved her wizards. She had a wizard and a pentagram tattooed on her ankle, and she used to tell people all the time in Southwest Missouri, "Oh, yeah, I'm a Christian now, but I still know all about my voodoo and witchcraft and paganism." She was more than happy to talk about it at any time. Yeah, that Kung Fu Panda, she might have felt like it was hers because of the fact that it was her, like you said, her illness story that got it. Kinda like how she gets mad that any content creators make any money at all talking about her crime, because she was like, "They're making money off my name." No, 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 Gypsy. She did murder and put that out into the world as a public fact, and anybody who makes money about it is making money bringing awareness to the fact that her crime was horrendous, and she walks out free among us now, influencing kids on social media. Yeah, I thought that too, be sure. Yeah. I think she wanted to not have to worry about anyone seeing her doing her pictures and videos while Dee Dee was asleep. She probably, suggested that and told Dee Dee, "We've gotta protect ourselves, mama." Oh, cool, holier than thou, you are on it. Shadow black powder free nitrile gloves. Okay. Hmm. Petra Rabbit says she asked Alexa who killed Dee Dee, and they said Gypsy Blanchard. Even Alexa knows. Right, Jamie. Yeah, she really thinks she is the first murderer that people have ever talked about, as if commentary hasn't always existed. Okay, I think we've saw about everything we can see in this one. So let's move on to the next one. This one's kind of dark, but it looks like it's just the same corner of the room again. Ah, there it is, light. Pretty normal. Hmm. Okay, yeah. So again, there definitely must have been 2 dollhouses because the other one was in the kitchen, and this is the yellow one that turned up at a thrift store in Springfield recently. Oh, right, Sonny. Yep. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I think Mel, if I remember right, Gypsy had 2 or 3 wheelchairs, and then I think Dee Dee had one as well. Because Gypsy said in her I believe it was in her book, she acted like it was Dee Dee's like Dee Dee made a choice to buy that Nissan Cube so that Gypsy would have to use her non-motorized wheelchair instead of the jazzy motorized one. And she said it was a way that Dee Dee was getting more control. But um, there's there could be a lot of reasons why Dee Dee went with that car. She probably had trouble getting financing at different places. If I think Gypsy said she bought it for 5,000 cash, and she probably had to look around for something she could afford that could still get a wheelchair in it for 5,000 cash. So, yeah, it's just really strange. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that white powder is everywhere in here too, and I really, really think that Jip just took that Arm& and Hammer, litter odor controller and threw it everywhere as she was walking through the house. See that on here? 'Cause we're just not seeing any other type of dust around, not even cat hair. Prayer is the best way to meet the Lord. Trespassing. Dee Dee had one of those signs. Oh my. Dee Dee probably told Jip to use the bus and walk. She probably had enough of her. You know what? There's a bus fare discount pass on Gypsy's dresser. So she was using the Springfield bus. I found that really strange. I wonder that too, Sam H, because it's just really weird. Well, Mom Shakir says there's dust on the bottom rails. She doesn't believe it's the Arm& and Hammer dust that she threw around. Might not have. Walk her ass to the car. Yeah, it is funny. Kung Fu Panda mentioned that as well. When Gypsy was complaining about that, it's like, uh, well, you know that you could just get up and get in the car. The cats were allowed inside because we know that Gypsy clogged up the jacuzzi tub right away, clogged up the jets by shaving one of the cats in there. There's even a picture of it in there. Okay. It's like a Christmas or Mardi Gras ornament there. Harry Potter collectibles. What's in that jar? Is that a diaper? That looks like a diaper, like first the let's see if I can zoom in anymore. It looks like the last 3 letters here, PER. There's the word baby. That looks like the word loved. I don't know, I think it might be I see sequins on it, and that looks more fuzzy than diaper material. I'm not sure what it is, but it's some kind of baby keepsake, I'm positive. Yeah, yeah, she did shave the cat, isn't that horrible? Yeah. Yeah, I can't even on my computer with it big, I can't tell exactly what it is, but I definitely don't think it's a diaper anymore now that I've got it bigger. I can see fuzzy wool type on the outside. It's some sort of baby clothing or something or other. Someone said it looks like a teddy bear in a jar. Yeah, it actually could be a stuffed animal of sort. It looks more like clothing, but it's hard to tell just from this little bit. Okay, let me zoom back out and see what else we got. Bird food, Candyland. There's that trespasser gun sign warning. There's the dust everywhere. Look, y'all. See? And I can't tell if the indentations and the fingerprints in the dust, did they move things while they were searching the place, or is the dust maybe actually that old and it all just happens to be uniformly white? There was a comment there I just missed. Let's see. I wonder if that was a pageant dress when Gypsy was younger. That's possible, but it has like wool and stuff on it, like cushiony. So she would have had to have been a baby, I think. Yeah, it's no wonder that the photos are so extensive because there was just so much in there. What do we got down here? Halloween torchlights, porch lights. Oh, those are those glove boxes. Yep. Holier than thou. You were right. Glove boxes. I'm sure she already knew that, but there's a Gyps TV. Um, yeah, there's a picture of the cat in the tub, Kung Fu Panda. And apparently one of their cats died a few months before the murder, and Jipik had just gotten another one. And then I believe she let him they had 2 that she let out and abandoned the night of the murder. Local people had to take him in. That's why we donated to the Care Animal Rescue. Yep, lots of Christmas trees. I wonder what this says. It's probably a poem about Dee Dee and Gypsy if I was guessing, but it's too blurry to make out. Lord, she kept a lot of bottles of water, but I bet after Hurricane Katrina, that was kind of a compulsion. Keep a lot of water around. I noticed she had frozen bottles of water in the freezer too. And that's something that you can do for hurricane and tornado preparedness. Because if your electricity goes out, then you've still got some cold water as those Thaw. Yeah, I remember Moonflower. I think she put that in her book. She's really back and forth on that Cherokee Girl because sometimes she says they never had a Christmas, and then other times, like in her prison emails where she's privately talking, she talked about how her mom always made gumbo for Christmas and how no matter what, she always had presents for her and presents for her their cats too. Oh, there's the dollhouse again, the yellow one. And this is the wheelchair. I'm not sure if this one would have been Jib's foldable one that she was complaining about having to use with Dee Dee's new vehicle, or if that would have been Dee Dee's one. It looks like it was getting kind of worn out. See on the edges there? On the show, chocolate mousse, yeah. Talked about some special desserts. Yeah, I believe it was chocolate mousse. Mhm. Okay. Now it does look like there's a lot of boxes and trash in this one bag, but we saw in some of the others Dee Dee's clothes. See, it's strange to me that we don't see more dust settled on the windowsills and things, cat fur and stuff like that. What the heck is that? I have no idea. It looks like maybe the moss out of the bottom of a flower arrangement. Yeah, there's the foam, I believe. Yeah, Dee Dee loved her wizards. She had a wizard with a pinnacle tattooed on her leg. Yeah, and bright colors like that are really popular in Louisiana too, especially in New Orleans. I know they're really shocking to some people, but it's a Caribbean coastal and also Louisiana kind of thing. Yeah, it definitely looks like peat moss. Rachel said it's a wig. It almost makes me think that Dee Dee was doing some crafts at some point and then just got to where she couldn't do them anymore and everything just kind of stayed where it was, getting knocked around by the wheelchairs. Because we've got the elements here to make a flower arrangement at one point, it looks like. A random golf ball back here. It's Dee Dee's wizard and an old school phone. Here we finally see some more normal looking dirt on the baseboards, but it stops out here. It looks like Dee Dee might have still cleaned a few places, like just not where she couldn't easily get to and reach. Yep, I agree, Ravona. Hmm, I don't know if I've ever heard that one. Well, that's your opinion, Claire. I know a lot of people think that. I personally like them. As an artist, I love seeing bright, different colors, but Dee Dee and Gypsies didn't mesh well because we see it in a hoarder state. It probably looked better initially when Dee Dee first decorated it. If you can, handle the colors. Some people just absolutely hate bright colors, and that's okay. And for them, that kind of style will just never look good no matter what. What is this here? Some sort of toolkit tub? That looks like what you carry, like, household tools in or something. Oh, there's the peat moss that we were just looking at with the foam and stuff, and then over here is some more. Maybe she was starting to do, like, a little fairy house or something. Got distracted. Oh, a foot soaker, holier than the outside. Okay, I can see that. That makes sense. So we've got a wheelchair here in front of the fireplace, and there was another one. Let me go back a few. There's another one facing the dollhouse, and then there was the motorized one too. So that's 3 wheelchairs in the living room. Now the motorized one was in the bathroom, right? 3 wheelchairs anyway in the front of the house. This, I believe, is for Dee Dee's leg. That she messed up her leg in a car accident. And she's got a cancer ribbon on there. What is this? Is that a let's zoom in a little bit. What's in this bag on the couch here? Oh, it looks like a bunch of random merch and party favors, Harry Potter stuff. Maybe from one of their Disney trips. And even in here, like, things are organized somewhat. Like the stuff in the boxes, it's clearly hoarded up. It's sorted into Ziploc bags. It really seems like she had a method here before she got too sick to move. Be sure, was that a blood stain? Where at? I'll look around a little more and then come back to your comment. See if, oh, down here. That looks like, almost looks like a cat accident there or something. I'm not sure about that. It doesn't quite hit me as blood. It seems too light. I don't know. But that's some of the first real dirt I think we've seen in the floor, other than those baseboards. Ivona, they moved into this house in 2008, so they were there 7 years before the murder. They were only in Aurora, Missouri for like 2.5 years before that. Another Disney bag. Trying to see what this says. To my daughter, with love. It's like a mother-daughter book Dee Dee got for Gypsy. Then this black cage thing looks like maybe some sort of animal crate. You're welcome, Ivona. Yeah, Mickey Mouse sippy cups. Hmm. Yeah, this really looks like different birthday party stuff all bagged up. Oh, there we go. We can actually see the Arm& and Hammer box now. Let me zoom in. Yep, Arm& and Hammer Pet Fresh Odor Carpet Odor Eliminator. So yeah, she definitely slung that everywhere. On their baseboards over here, kind of blurry, but you can see a few cat scratches and some dirt around the top. Now over here, they've noted some of these places on the floor, and it looks like there's relatively big stains, but I don't know if it's the big stains that they're noting or blood droplets that we can't see. Let me switch over to y'all's comments real quick. Hey, Amanda Pink. Been on for an hour and 11 minutes. Oh yeah, that painting from the hands. The painting she did with the hands where it was all different colors and just her handprints reminds me of y'all remember in the Blair Witch Project movie that one part of the house where it had like handprints everywhere. That's what it reminds me of. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for coming in. These here look like little bunny rabbits or something. We got a clipboard. There's the bag of Dee Dee's clothes. Because from the other angle, we could see one of her shirts that she's been pictured in over there. Another Empire Bank bag. I think it was the C&B bank bag that they took with them with the cash. VHS player, y'all. More souvenirs. Do y'all see anything interesting you want me to zoom in on here? Who's Jane? I think that is from a Tarzan, from the Disney Tarzan. So it has Florida on the bottom there. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Same thing. Or what this is in the background. And also, let's zoom in real quick. Is that black lace? This is some of Gypsy's lingerie that we always seen her posing in. I'm curious. Janice, I honestly am not sure. She asked if we think Nick will ever talk. I feel like if he was going to, he would have by now. It feels like if he was going to change his mind, she's been out over a year. So, but I kind of hope I'm wrong. These look like the same stuff. Wheelchair full of boxes. Friends of the Zoo joined today. Lowe's looks like some baby wipe packet. That's a possibility, Mel. That's funny, Jamie. No, this is still in the living room, Stephanie. That's a lap tray for the wheelchair. Oh, okay. Thank you, my novellas. Probably, Janice. Yeah. Oh, they measured the baby wipes. She must have used those for cleanup. More baby wipes. Looks like, yeah, it looks like that one bag actually does have mostly boxes in it. Huh. Huge carpet stain. Yep. Mom check, I did see in the emails, in the prison emails, where she told someone who was Nick's new girlfriend emailing her. I don't think it was Don Boker. I think it was a different time to tell Nick that she still cares or something like that. Tell him she wishes him well or something. So, like, messages are being passed clearly, or were. Oops, I hit next too fast. I think we've seen most everything in this pic. And check the comments real quick and see if y'all want to see anything. Yeah, I agree, Rachel. CJB says she communicated with Nick just like she still is doing crying Ryan. Yep, bet so. This just looks like a homemade diaper bag to me. What do y'all think it is? Oh Lord, I think we're in the bathroom now. Is that all Gyps's glasses? The picture on top of the fireplace, that was of Gypsy and Dee Dee. It's kind of blurry. Let me get back to it. Well, crap. I think it might be too far back to get to. I apologize. But it's kind of blurry, but it's Gypsy and Dee Dee when Gypsy was little. And looks like we've got the white dust everywhere in here too. Oh, okay, thanks, Mel. Right, Elle? Yeah, that was on the Gypsy's house. Dee Dee was just staying there. It's a lot of glasses for them to be so similar anyway. Good Lord, look at all the paperwork. Again, it's cluttered as hell and it's a mess, but it looks like at one time this was organized. We got is this blood stains over here, I wonder? They that were cleaned up because it looks like it's too light to be full on dried blood, but they've noted this, see? Yep, I agree, CJB. And what did they note over here? I assume more blood drops, but there's something over here they found worthwhile of taking note of. There's more gloves down there. See what this says, if we can tell. All the writing is obscured. This is funny. Okay, we're at the end again. Let's see if any more load. They did. Oops, took us backwards. See if we can get back to where we were. The file's so big that sometimes it has weird loading issues. Well, maybe that was the end. Doesn't appear to be. Hmm. Well, I can't go any further that way. So let's go back up to about where I started. I started around 1000, and I think Gypsy and Dee Dee's room are before that. So let's start around the 900s. Okay, this would be in the dining room. Have we noted anything that might indicate Dee Dee being mistreated for the days of the murder? Not specifically, no. Just a lot of strangeness with the fact that we're not finding a lot of dirt in the house, just crazy amounts of clutter, which seems weird. Not finding evident like there's a lot of food in there and a good variety of food, and there's even like frozen fresh fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. A lot of things that indicate that Dee Dee was really managing the house well before some recent total inactivity where everything just kind of went all to hail. Yeah, I don't think they definitely could sit at that table for sure. I agree, Mojave Wolf. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, look at that goblet. It's got fingers on it, skeletal fingers. That's funny. There's the portrait of Gypsy that was left there. Which, like I said, again, makes it just totally crazy that she was trying to say that she removed all pictures of herself so that people from Springfield would forget. And see, this is weird. Like the frame and this are covered in that white dust, but these bowls don't have any. I'm gonna go back over here and check y'all's comments real quick. Yeah. Yep. Purple thing is Dee Dee's pick on it. Oh, it does. Clinic visitor. Kids are special people. Okay, so this was something from the hospital, it looks like. And Dee Dee had a tag 8/25/14. So less than a year before her murder. I think it says Mercy, but I can't really tell. Probably Mercy, Kansas City Hospital. It says ER here underneath this. I wonder if I wonder if this was Dee Dee being in the ER for her own issues or there to visit Gypsy. It does say clinic visitor, so I guess she would be there to visit. But yeah, it's really weird to me that like well, even look here. This table has some of the white dust on it, but then this underneath it doesn't. It's like things were moved around as powder after or before powder was thrown everywhere. Oh, okay. Kidney stone removal. Makes sense. Bunch of small chips under that. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, same thing. Man, she had a lot of those kids' play buckets, like party favor buckets. And then over here, we're getting back to that other dollhouse, I think. Last picture. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, whenever they lived in Aurora, and now it's important to keep in mind they were in Aurora after Hurricane Katrina from like October 2005 until sometime in 2008 when they were moved to this habitat house. And everyone who ever went in their house said, always said Dee Dee kept a very neat, clean house. And everyone was shocked whenever after the murder when they saw these pictures because it just wasn't like that back then. And that's part of what really makes me think that she went downhill and that's when it got this bad, especially considering too that we're not seeing a lot of, deep years worth of dirt. We're just seeing clutter. Thank you so much, McCatherine. That was so sweet. I appreciate that. See, that one's the same thing. Oh, this is a motorized wheelchair here too. It clearly hasn't been used in a while. And it's not the one in the bathroom. So we have 2 manuals in the living room, then we got this motorized one here, and then the motorized one in the bathroom. So we're at 4 wheelchairs right now, right? Oh, that is a good point, Rachel. We forget how much Gypsy stole. She said she would steal stickers and all kinds of stuff. Gypsy was in a pageant. Yeah, as a toddler. I think Dee Dee initially wanted Gypsy to be a pageant kid, and then, it was clear that she just wasn't gonna make it, and, that's when, becoming a charity kid became the goal instead. Yeah, I'm sure Gyp stole baby clothes whenever her and Nick were planning a baby. I think we read about that in their text messages at one point, but I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. I might misremember there. Oh yeah, she stole the Fierce cologne from the Abercrombie and Fitch store and then made up a whole man around it and says that Ken was the embodiment of that man. No, I don't believe she took them with her. She was definitely planning on going back, in my opinion. So is this one dollhouse just like a little doll tower type thing? Weird. There we got a teapot, bunch of Welches. And we got the same thing again. Ooh, baby wipes. Now these are sitting on that Kenmore by that eucalyptus stuff. So I bet they'd been moved by the time they got to photographing the eucalyptus stuff. We can see in this photo. Oh crap. Why did it do that? Sorry, y'all. I lost the pic. Let me try and get back there. Oops, no, I went too far. See it looks like maybe some red at the bottom of the bottle there, and that one, we couldn't see the bottom of it in the first one. I think there is blood on top of it, Mel. Do you ever wonder if Jip distanced herself from the crime by convincing herself? Yeah, I think she totally does. I think she uses every mental method she can to distance herself from it. Blood near the corner of the wipes. Let me look. I like here, I think that's a shadow. Yeah, I think that's a shadow there, if that's where y'all meant. Let me check the comments again and see if it's a different place. Yep. Swifty watched her testimony last night and she mentioned that. The dollhouse is in 2 pieces. Oh, okay, Kayla. Gotcha. So it's part of it just over. Awesome, RL. Hey. To home health care. Medicaid isn't as generous for adults. She was right around that age. Yeah, she was 23, and I think that's why Dee Dee kept lowering her age is for the benefits, not to, keep Gypsy a baby forever. Gypsy seemed to want to keep herself a baby forever because we found that out in her emails where she was talking about, enjoying doing baby talk and wanting to be a kitten and a furry. And yeah, weird, 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 weird. I did see that, Mel. That was crazy because she has done so many like official statements where she says decent or at least neutral things about Dee Dee and then loses her shit and goes off like that. It's crazy. There's another so yeah, it makes sense what sorry, I can't remember that commenter's name. I just looked at you. I apologize. Uh but that is a piece of the other dollhouse that they just have separate. Volunteer family dinner program, Ronald McDonald's house. Wow. That looks like that was found down on the floor. That's a good point, be sure. Yep. Yeah, with her going back to wearing wigs so soon, I wouldn't be surprised if she finds an excuse to be in a wheelchair part-time before long. What do y'all think? Hey, it's just me. Glad you're listening from work. What's funny, Jamie, is she said in one of her emails, she talked about how getting mad at her voice drops to something demonic sounding. Oh, that's a weird place for that pin to be dropped. The Ronald McDonald pin was just in the middle of the floor. It looks like we actually see a little more dirt on the floor in this picture. Bless our home. And there's where Gypsy had set the temperature down to 45. I know there was, for some reason, hey, Elena, glad you're here. Um, there was some reason some people were trying to say that she couldn't have set it down like she said she did, that that was impossible. No, she was set it down to try and prevent decomp. Now the freezer, or I'm sorry, the not the freezer, the air conditioner likely wasn't able to actually get it down to 45. It probably just ran all the time trying to get it going. Well, Ivona, he's her manager, and according to her, he tried to convince her to keep going with the Lifetime shows and to show the baby. So, I think Mike thinks, "Let's get the money." It's my, opinion. Demona, hear her roar. Yeah, Mike Stanfield doesn't think CJB. He is a weirdo. It would freeze and the coils basically stop working at that setting. Yeah, probably what happened. 'Cause it would have been like that for 5 days at least. I am going to take a quick smoke break, y'all, while I light up. I'll still be here talking. It's just gonna take me a minute to get to the next picture. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Yep, there's, what it was actually at was 72. The actual temp, it says set temp in this one was 45. Then you go to this one, actual temp 72. Yeah, I really did. My friend who was, their next door neighbor, her and family, like, they were like, "Oh, you gotta meet Dee Dee, blah, blah, blah," and I just had got the creepiest feeling about him, and I felt embarrassed about it because I didn't know why. There didn't seem to be any reason to have a creepy feeling about him, but I just, you know, I just did not want to meet them, so I always made excuses. Glad I did. Okay, there's everything around the temperature box. Dee Dee sure had a thing for decorating every little piece of stuff. Like how she always had Oh no, Vladdy's got a bird in the room. Get out of the bird room. Um, but yeah, like every little, light cover switch, anything Dee Dee like to decorate it up extra. And she seemed like someone who cared about her house and just got down, in my opinion. Now, I remember whenever I was reading Stan Hancock's casebook that they asked Gypsy and Nick specifically about this blue cleaner. I can't remember all the details about it, but they were interested in this. Oh, cool. I love that, Vladdy. Got pet birds. I thought you had a bird loose in your room. My bad. Oh, yeah, Janice. She loved her home interior and decorating. I agree, RL. There's a big old stain right near all this stuff. That's probably why they were asking them so much. They were wondering what got cleaned up. What do y'all think? Oh, nice. They're free flying. Yeah, I agree too, Jamie. When when her health started getting worse and she started letting her appearance go, she made it all about Gypsy. That's what I was wondering, Panda Butt, if those are stains that they cleaned up. Because the police definitely asked Nick and them about that cleaner and stuff, so they seem to think that they might have done something like that. Nice, CJB. Yep, Mary Jean. "Where's the Pepsi?" Shorty Pie said. That's so funny. Let's see what the next one is. Man, without any lighting on the living room, it looks like you'd never be able to get through there at all. I wonder what this picture is. I think that's another picture that's supposed to be, oh no, I think that's Jesus. Never mind. I thought that was supposed to be Gypsy for a minute, but that's Jesus at Heaven's Gate, I think. It's probably some of Gyp's art. What do y'all think? Oh, there's a clearer version of it. Scroll in and see if we can see his signature. Boy, Dee Dee had the hand sanitizer everywhere. She's got it right here by the door, and they had a mounted hand sanitizer in the bathroom. That's as far as I can zoom in. I don't think that would be Gyp's signature, but it could be. Jamie, I don't mind the stained windows either. I like them. I have to be able to see out personally, but I like a few accent stained windows. Yeah, it looks like she had a holy water fonts. They've pointed out several stains on the floor. That is a lot of Pepsi, y'all. Almost looked like somebody standing in that corner for a minute. I was like, ah. Hmm. Y'all want me to zoom in on anything there? That stain is big. Yeah, I wondered too, Diane, what was the point in cleaning up the blood? I wonder if maybe cleaning up the blood was to convince Nick that she was trying to keep him clear. in some way, even though she kind of let it slip by telling him in a text not to bother with gloves. But still, I wonder if she was trying to keep up a facade to Nick that she was trying to actually keep him clear. And that's why she cleaned up some blood drops and not others. I don't know. I'm just kind of opining. That's just a theory. Yeah, you're right, Stephanie. There's no wheelchair marks. I wouldn't expect them in carpet that's that low nap, but at the same time, there would still be some. Like, especially there would be worn out tracks of where the wheelchair was used up and down the halls. And because that was 7 years' time. So if she actually used that wheelchair all the time, I would think that it would have, made actual wear marks, wouldn't y'all? Blood drip on the right board. Let me see. I don't guess I'm seeing where you're asking about. Let me switch back to comments real quick. I'm not sure where you're talking about, Jamie. Yeah, I agree, Panda Butt. Mailing to the weapon index was a setup. And the fact that she included the gloves. That's something I guess I had seen the pictures, but just didn't fully set into me until I was reading the case book. But she didn't just mail the knife to Nick's house, she put his bloody gloves in there too. Yeah. I see a lot of you talking about recovery, and I just want to say congratulations to all y'all on that are in recovery. I hope all y'all continue and do great. That's just wonderful. Anyone who's in recovery, that's exactly where everyone wants you to be, and we're proud of all y'all. Thanks, Elena, for dropping in. Okay, let's see what the next picture says. Oh, it's pretty much the same. Now, I do notice in from this angle, you can see more dirt and, maybe even some cat fur and stuff up under the cabinet there. That's more like what I would expect. But it's still not like that looks like maybe they haven't swept in a month, not years worth. Of course, Stephanie, you're welcome. Yes, we want to congratulate all of you, every one of you. That's possible, Emily. That looks like the same room, another angle. I wonder, it looks like maybe a watch battery or something down here on the floor that they're pointing out with that tag. Trying to zoom in. See that there? I'm not sure why they found that significant with all the clutter around. And the more they zoom out, the more cluttered it is. That looks like a bunch of gypsies' shoes there. Same still. Also, look here, we can see pull this down. There are clean dishes that have been washed in the dish drainer, and there was only a couple of bowls here that had moldy food in them. In the sink, it looks like probably Dee Dee's last meal and Gypsy's too. But, we know Gypsy wouldn't have been washing dishes by hand, so that tells us Dee Dee was still doing some cleaning. It seems like she just lost control of everything as she started losing some mobility. What the heck is that? Viraquat detergent disinfectant cleaner. Huh, I've never heard of that one. Good morning, Jade. They didn't seem to note it or tag it or anything, just took a picture of it. So it's like a random closet stuffed. I'm not sure where this is exactly. That looks like some ductwork. I don't think I've ever noticed that one. Oh, that might be ammonia, Rachel said. That's awesome. Just brilliant. Glad you're in recovery. Don't beat yourself up. Just go stay in recovery as good as you can. Yeah, I think holier than thou that they did move stuff around to get more pictures because there was one picture where that painting was up against the wall without anything in front of it. And then in another one, it looks like it's got a wheelchair in front of it. Same CJB. That's right, Vladdy. Yeah, I guess this must be a closet with like the furnace or something. Yep. And Dee Dee had wrapping paper stored in there around her furnace. A lot of wrapping paper. Oh, that's where the cleaner is in the bottom. Hmm. I wonder what knocked the door off of this. What knocked the door off the hinges initially before the stuff got piled up? Because styrofoam stuff isn't going to break the door off the hinges. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Like I said, I could just be talking to myself. I appreciate that all y'all show up. It's awesome. Oh, they felt necessary to measure this bleach. They must have used that for the cleanup. They got that bleach from every angle. Oh, there's actually some dust. Whoops, went back too soon. We're in the laundry area. That looks like a lint buildup. More lint. This stuff has the white powder on top of it too. But then there's also, normal dirt like what you'd expect to see in a cluttered house back here. Interesting. Dust on the Downy, good song title. That's funny. Ah, Gypsy's frozen backpack. I wonder why they felt necessary to measure it. Maybe she packed up things to go in there and then left them or something. She's got t-shirts there. There's the dryer sheets. Remember her saying that she used the dryer sheets to disguise the decomp? Oh, thank you, CJB. Glad you stopped in. Is her dentures there, Kung Fu? Yeah, same, Brandy. But yeah, but those dryer sheet boxes are mostly empty. We know why. Hmm. I wonder why they tagged the laundry that was in there. Interesting. The laundry that's in there looks like a lot of t-shirts and stuff, which is like you don't see Gypsy wearing all that often. And definitely not Dee Dee. Yeah, definitely Kung Fu. That's right, bad Vladdy. Yeah, they might have washed away some evidence. Even though it doesn't really seem like that since they still had bloody clothes on when they got arrested, Lord. It was in the dryer. It looks like some comforter and a t-shirt. I wonder if Jip wore all t-shirts in the house and Dee Dee just made her dress up to go out. Y'all know she still doesn't know how to use that machine. That's so funny. Just curious because in that full washing machine and then the dryer, it looked like mostly t-shirts. This looks like t-shirts folded. And we never saw Dee Dee wear t-shirts. We always saw Dee Dee wear muumuus. And Gypsy was almost always in some sort of princess outfit or pajamas. That could be some fuzzy pajamas in there. That's probably true. And they really photographed it. Oh, there's a blanket in there. There's a quilt in there. See that? That's quilt pieces put together. So I bet they did think that they were washing away some evidence somehow. Hey, Shilly Shelly. Right. What about Candy, Demona? Hey, that's cool, Brandy. Awesome. We got a beanie hat in there. That's weird. Well, you did see Jip wear beanie hats sometimes, but it was usually fuzzy, furry looking ones. There's something there that has a braid hair, a stuffed animal being washed in there. Hmm. They really focused on that beanie a lot. Yeah, it does look like a Mickey Mouse arm. Yep, Kung Fu, you're so right. Yeah, that was wild. Kind of goes back on all the times that she's tried to be neutral or positive about her mom. When the truth comes out. And documenting every bit of that washing machine. They clearly think something happened there. Is this blood on this side? Let's go back just a bit. No, I think that's regular dirt. They would have tagged that if it was blood. The washing machines got more normal dirt on it than anything in the kitchen did. There's a lot of dust on these too. Look at that. Hmm. More on the bleach bottle. And there's Harry Potter stuff all over that house. Yeah, it was bad. I think it was. Yeah. Surely they got to be done photographing the laundry room soon. Wait a second. I noticed something in that last picture. Look at this line here, y'all. I think that would have been. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I bet these doors were shut when she was initially throwing around the powder, and then they got opened. Stephanie, it was on, I think, one of Bree's lives on TikTok. I saw a clip of it on Reddit. Mel, that's funny. Comes out in the wash. Yep, Brandy. Pictures of the door. There's blood on that door. That's why. Let's go back one. I was getting too wild. Let me zoom in here. See that, y'all? Hmm. Wonder why it has no tag or anything. Wow, this got powder everywhere. So I guess we're in Dee Dee's room now, where she was really trying to do the decomp smell. And remember whenever Nick said somehow Gypsy got money out of Dee Dee's safe? And she clearly had to do that after the murder. And also the powder and dryer sheets too, because Dee Dee would have noticed those. Don't y'all think? It definitely seems like the safe was opened after it was powdered like crazy to cover decomp smell. Those are probably Gypsy's fingerprints in them. The diabetic body. That's what Dee Dee was reading. An owner's manual. Aw. Looks like there's still some kind of zipper bag left in there. Must not have had any money in it. Yep, in Dee Dee's room. And there's the Lysol. Like we've said so many times, of all the things Jip could have researched on the internet, how to get away, how to, prove my legal competence, how to find a shelter, all these things. She chose to Google how to cover decomp smell. Oh Lord, what do we got here? Let's zoom in. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a very special student using the School of Tomorrow curriculum. Gypsy lives with her mom in Louisiana. Her father deserted the family after Gypsy's birth and has contributed nothing to her support. Although she is only 8 years old, Gypsy has already endured more than most of us will ever face. She is confined to a wheelchair, must be fed through a tube, and suffers from leukemia, epilepsy, or suffers from asthma, epilepsy, and Falterman's anemia, a form of leukemia. Falterman's anemia? I think that's new. Huh. Switching over to read y'all's comments real quick. Falterman's anemia. I'm gonna have to Google that. Let me finish reading this first, though. Falterman's anemia, form of leukemia. She is vision and hearing impaired, microcephalic, and developmentally delayed. In spite of her handicaps and the many surgeries she has undergone, Gypsy is a joyful little girl who loves Jesus and who shares that love with all who meet her. On her way to the hospital recently, for yet another surgery, Gypsy selflessly said to her mother, Jesus wants us to feed his sheep. Let's give some food to someone who is hungry. And they stopped for food. After they stopped for food, Gypsy rolled down the window under a freeway overpass and handed the bag to an elderly homeless woman and said, Jesus loves you. Gypsy is working in second level paces and is determined to read her Bible through during the school year. Her mother wrote to School of Tomorrow recently with this report. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know what the PACEs are, the PACE, all in caps, that's a type of homeschooling Christian curriculum that was used. I used that when I was a kid. Dear School of Tomorrow, thank you all so much for the school supplies, encouragement, and most of all, the prayers. As you know, Gypsy's father, who was responsible for paying for her schooling, insisted that we use another company because he didn't want her to have any Christian teachings. We totally refused, so he refused to pay for anything. We have always used School of Tomorrow and have always been very pleased and satisfied. Your instructions are so thorough and easy to understand that it makes my job teaching her a breeze. I was worried when I first started Gypsy on the program that it would be too hard for her to do or that I would not know what to do, not know what to teach her, but you made me feel confident with a clear, easy to follow teaching methods, ABCs with the ACE and Christ. The colorful pictures and interesting lessons keep her excited about learning. When we are finished with our day of school, she can hardly wait for the next morning to have school again. We really like the Bible lessons and we use them in everyday lives. And we got pictures of Gyp to the side, Gypsy and Dee Dee. Oh, a gypsy is holding a cat that has a hat on. A hat. Dee Dee looks pretty in that one. Yeah, based on the pictures, Jip would have been pretty small then. I I'm getting that feeling, stink bug potato, based on what all they said about Rod. Um, it sounds like they were getting free schooling by saying that Rod wouldn't pay for Christian curriculum, and they got it donated. And of all the things that Rod's guilty of, and there's a lot, I don't think I've never heard of Rod having a total atheist, aga anti-Christian phase. Have any of you? Because him and Christy are always getting rebaptized. I wish they showed us the rest of these papers. That'd be very interesting. 'Cause underneath it, there's a newspaper article and stuff. We could probably find all kinds of info if we could just go through that box, friends. Maybe it's sitting in evidence in Springfield somewhere from the look of it. Ugh, more baby wipes. Underneath Dee Dee's bed, it looks like. Look at all those baby wipes. Yeah, Kathleen, they got Dee Dee and Gypsy did that too. They get rebaptized like every couple of years, and Rod and Christy and Gypsy do it now pretty commonly, it seems. Boy, she had a lot of wet wipes. I guess she had Jip in diapers, so wet wipes for days. It's like a pile of all kinds of random stuff. Got Benadryl there, deodorant, wet wipes, some sort of monitor, some Disney bags, Kleenexes. Oh my god, I can't even imagine. Rachel's think how awkward it'd be for a priest to have Gypsy for confession. Yeah, there are, some religions I know don't hold with the rebaptizing thing, but a lot of the looser, more evangelical, less structured ones, you can, if you sin today, you can get baptized again tomorrow, and they feel it's totally fine. I don't know about Catholics getting rebaptized, but I know when Gypsy and Dee Dee were in Southwest Missouri, they would say they were Catholic, but also they'd have Catholic stuff all around, but then they would also go to, random evangelical churches and get baptized and get into that one for a while and get a lot of donations before kinda moving on to another one. Oh, that makes sense. Anarchy Faye, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Holier than thou. Imagine faking you can't walk your whole life and then finding out you have a genetic microdeletion. She must have been so mad about that. Yes, they do holier than thou. I think that's the reason for the constant, renewing of faith or re reconverting or whatever to different types. Not sure what they're really noting here. Oh, look, there's a picture of Gypsy and Santa Claus. Once again, pictures of Jip everywhere. See that in the corner, y'all? And then down here, it looks like there's a picture of Dee Dee. Oh, picture of the Pope. I wonder why they felt. Oh, there's blood on the edge of the picture of the Pope. That's wild, y'all. Look, they're swabbing it. And to think we were just talking about priests. That is so crazy. Blood on the Pope's picture, and it looks like they touched it for some reason, I don't know. Oops. Vineyard Church, therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name. Oh, look at the see that V there? That was on one of the stickers on their fridge that we were trying to figure out what that sticker was for. Let me look. Oh, you're welcome, Ivona. Yeah, I agree. Anarchy Faye, there are so many weird blood splatters in places. I know that, the knife might have slung around, but it's wild. Let me look up this church real quick. Vineyard Church, Springfield. There isn't a single Vineyard Church in Springfield, Missouri, but you can find Canyon View Vineyard Church on their Facebook page, James River Church. Says Canyon View Vineyard Church is non-denominational. Let me see if they have a website, or I can see if their logo is similar. It is kind of similar, but it looks like they've changed it. Hmm. Very interesting. Yeah, it does make you wonder, Mel. Yeah, I know. Me too, Brandy. I wish we could see what was in that box of papers. That would have been very telling, I'm sure. Blood everywhere, y'all. Blood down here. Blood spatters all over there. Blood on the wall. That almost looks like it was fingerprints, like a thumb and like a thumb here and some fingers here that have been cleaned up partially. Oh, none of those appear to have been cleaned up. Look at this on the wall here, or on the door facing. Huh. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, to for them to have cleaned up so much, she left a lot of blood. It makes me wonder if she did it in the dark or if she just didn't want to clean it all up to try and implicate Nick. Oh, that's a good thought. When Gypsy shot Dee Dee with the BB gun, we know it actually wounded Dee Dee, and we know she chased her around the house. Um, there could still have been blood around from that. I don't know. That is the hallway, RL. I don't know if they would have a way of telling how old the blood splatters were, or if they would have thought about that even. I mean, when you got a dead body there. Looks like we're getting to the bathroom now. Nothing really of note there. Or there. I don't see anything that interesting. Let me look over and check y'all's comments real quick. Yeah, RL, someone else said that that's what it could be is the blood drippings off the knife getting slung around. It's just really weird where they all are. Looks like there was blood on the floor here that got cleaned up. Baby wipes. Some drops down there. This kind of thing here is what I was talking about earlier of how it's clear that at a point, Dee Dee liked to decorate every little thing, every little piece of the house with, vines, flowers, fake flowers, Mardi Gras stuff, fleur de lis, whatever. And that's why it seems to me like at a point that just kind of got away from her when she couldn't get around now. Right, stink bug potato? I'd be so sad if I had to live in an all beige house. I'd take tacky colors over all beige any day. Looks like there's a calendar ad or something up there, or some sort of ad. Huh. Wonder what that is. Or a poster from Cape Cod, maybe, whenever they went there. I'm not sure what they're photographing in some of these. There doesn't appear to be any blood on the door. It's like they're just getting every angle of the door. There's some blood on the floor there. Oh, that was a certificate baptism and 2012. Now they've been baptized many times before that, so that kind of goes to what I was telling y'all there, that they got baptized a lot. Ooh, urine shows up under black light. Yeah, I've seen that picture of the bed with the black light on it. It's bad. Interesting. Well, in her medical records, Dee Dee reported incontinence, and I always wondered if that wasn't something that was made up or if that was something that they documented. I'm not. I think Dee Dee had it there, Brandy. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, so they got baptized again on 2012, June 2012. Man, something about the month of June for poor Dee Dee. I don't know why they keep photographing the top of this door and door frame. I don't see anything on it at all. It's like, are they just trying to point out that the paint job was bad in places? Fox and Faye, I kind of wonder if it was a training issue. I mean, like Maybe she got laughed at enough in prison, she just realized it's time to stop peeing her pants. What are they taking pictures of here? It looks like a wheelchair mark along here, so one of them used a wheelchair at some point inside the house. I don't know the answer to that, Brandy. I'm not sure. It's another stain that might have been cleaned up. Oh, there's the full baptism ticket. It says Certificate of Christian Baptism. This certifies that Claudinia Blanchard was baptized in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, 24th day of June at Vineyard Church, June 2012. That's possible, Stephanie. Yep. Oh, you know what? Ivona. Yes, when I was reading the medical records, it said something about her urinary tract going the wrong way or something like that. Yeah, kidney urethra. I'm not good with medical terms, so I'm probably just messing this all up, and y'all probably will be more correct in the comments. Kidney urethra issue, holier than thou says. So the incontinence might have been real. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, we don't want you to leave either, RL. Everybody hang out. But no, y'all got to do your jobs. I know. And this will be up whenever y'all are free. And there we got a turned over trash can. They must have thrown away some murder cleanup trash in there since they felt the need to measure it, I assume. Some cleaner they must have used. And there's the wheelchair. Let me check y'all's comments again, see if anyone has any questions. I think there are baby bottles in the house, in the kitchen, if I remember right. Hmm. Let's see what the next one is. No, we know this one from other pictures had diapers in it. Once again, we see Dee Dee's tendency to, decorate every little thing. And the bathroom is surprisingly not that cluttered, especially compared to the kitchen and the living room. It's really weird. Holier Now says it's staged in there. Well, I lost the comment. But yeah, the bathroom seems so much cleaner than the rest of the house. That's really strange to me. Looks like they're switching to outside now. Okay, well, we've been on here for 2.5 hours, y'all. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and stop here now. but I'm gonna make note of the fact that I'm at photo 791, and then I'll do another live stream tomorrow, and we will start at that same photo number and go from there. 'Cause I'm starting to get kinda hungry. Need to get off here and get a snack. But I really appreciate all y'all being here with me to hang out and go through these. I'm gonna watch the comments for a minute, make sure y'all don't have any specific questions before I end. Stephanie, when I got to the bathroom. Yep. It did fly by, Mel. Thank you. 1970 says, smile. Yes, thank you. Yeah, same time, same place. Let's hang out here tomorrow and go through some more pictures. Thank you, Mom Shack. Oh, thank you, Holier Now. I appreciate that. Any quick palette cleansers to end? Oh, I wish I had one ready. Let me see what I've got here that I could put up real quick in my downloaded folder. Let's see. I'll open one of the cats. Let me make sure I can share that screen. Oops, wrong one. Remove. Stop screen. Here we go. It's one we've already seen, but still, Dave is just too cute. Where'd my play button go? Oh, there it is. Mel, I love those names. Poppy and Gaston. Faylene hasn't been here in a couple of days, Jade. Hopefully she'll be back soon. Yeah, hopefully Feline will come by again. It's been a few days and let's see, little Johnny, he is doing great, just running around. Dave is kind of his Uncle Dave and showing him the ways and how to wrestle and play and stuff. It's so cute. Well, thank you so much for being here, friends. I hope you all have a good day. I'm going to go ahead and end now. Have fun, y'all.